Acme Auto Parts, more than auto parts, auto people, and by the good folks from NGK Spark Plugs. As now we get set to do battle. 35 laps, Napa Modifieds coming at you. Green flag is in the air, we're underway. Down into turn number 1. It's Billy Bolton, Dave Barabee side by side as they work down the back straightaway. In the meanwhile, Robbie Summers with car number 42, he's up high, but tricky Ricky Miller with car number 12 trying to work to the inside.
The sparks fly as car number 14 of Bolton and the 04 of Barabee work side by side. Bolton with the better of it. Barabee battles back. What a battle here between these two contenders in these two race cars.
Further on back, Bob Pulvereri with car number 711 now is going to try to work to the outside of the Jensen machine, but right in front of Pulvereri, the 1998 champ, Jimmy Broderick, holding that spot right now. Back up front, Billy Bolton trying to pick up his first ever Napa Modified win here tonight as he leads the challenge down the back straightaway. Barabee is second. Miller is third. Look at the battle for fourth. Teddy Riggett with the 07 trying to take a spot away from the 42 of Summers. Your leaders work off turn 2.
And remember, this is the first of twin 35-lap races, so there's another 35-lap race for these modifieds to go tonight. You want to keep the car in one piece and be around to contend for the second race, especially if you're running for the championship or running for points.
Further on back, Eddie Spires with car number 94 is trying to slice and dice his way to the front, but right now, Billy Bolton is in the number 1 spot with car number 14, the Bear Motorsports entry. Barabee with that red machine currently runs second, but tricky Ricky Miller. So far, he's picked up 2 victories in 1999. He wants to make it 3 in this first 35-lap event. Riggett is 4th. Then it's the 42 of Summers. Then it's the 711 of Pulvereri. Pulvereri now tries to work to the inside. They're side by side as they work off turn 4.
You have 30% less racing in this event for these competitors, 30% less laps, 35 the distance, not 50. So it becomes a sprint. If you're going to get the job done, you don't have the time that you normally have. That 15 laps making a big difference.
No question about it. Right now, Billy Bolton is hoping that this goes green the rest of the way because it looks like he has a real good race car and he can possibly find victory lane for the first time in his career at the Napa Modified Series here at Riverside Park Speedway. Barabee continues to hold on for second. Miller third, Barabee fourth, Pulvereri fifth, Summers is sixth, seventh is Broderick, then it's Dan Avery, Tommy Jensen, Zarnicki, then it's Wenzel, Spires, Heitella, and Burrell. Those are your top 15 cars. Back up front, your leader is Bolton off of 4.
And Bolton starting to pass cars already as he works on the 59 of Townsend, tries to work his way around him. So Bill Bolton setting quite a pace here as now Barabee looks underneath. Dave Barabee tries to make the pass on the bottom of the racetrack on lap number 13, and Barabee trying to get the job done here. Bolton holding on.
Barabee with the New England Municipal Equipment machine tries to work to that inside, trying to take that number 1 spot away, but look who's right there. Tricky Ricky Miller, the Vibration sponsored Cavalier now looks like the 14 of Bolton kind of got off the gas there a little bit. In the meantime, that battle for the number 1 spot is still waging, but now look who's in there as well. Bob Pulvereri, the 07 of Riggett. This one is going to get real good. Your leader's working turn 3.
That's right, and the 5 of Konopka is a lapped automobile. And let's see how this affects the outcome of this as Konopka tries to give him room. But they're charging too wide here down the back straightaway. Riggett and Pulvereri battling for position coming up on Konopka.
Your leader is Dave Barabee, the 1996 Riverside Park Speedway champion with car number 04. He leads the Bolton machine. Then Miller is third. Riggett is fourth. Pulvereri is fifth. And 6 is Summers. When they come down to the stripe this time, it's going to be halfway. As Barabee sees that signal, and he's going to try to hold on for a victory here in this first 35-lap main event for the Napa Modifieds.
Ricky Miller looking to the bottom of the racetrack under Bill Bolton, but these are the tires that these drivers time trialed on. They're going to have to start the second 35-lap feature with these tires as well, so they have an incentive not to burn up the tires in this event. They're not going to be able to bolt on another set for the next feature.
Well, I'll tell you, Bob Pulvereri with car number 711 currently in the 5th spot is trying to work to the inside of the police sponsor machine of Ted Riggett, trying to take that spot away. And meanwhile, another battle right up in front of them, a battle between the 14 of Bolton and the 12 of Miller. And it looks like when they're in the turns, Miller has something for the 14. Now, Miller trying the inside. He says, you know what? I can't do it on the inside. Let me see if I can try it on the outside. We'll see how this one all shapes up. Your leader, Dave Barabee, car number 04. Works in turn 3.
And Bolton trying to work the inside on Barabee. Now, Miller takes a look on the inside of the Bear Motorsports number 14, but it's not to be. And more lap traffic coming up for our leaders here. The 4 New York of Charette and the 83 machine of Todd Owen. And lap traffic here could be a factor in just another couple of laps.
Well, I'll tell you, the best battle right now is for fifth between the 5-time champion Bob Polverari in car number 711 and the 07 of Riggett. Polverari tries to muscle that machine down to the bottom side of the racetrack, as now Polverari has now evenly matched with the 07, but look, a slower car once again causes the 711, well, almost caused the problem for him possibly not to take that spot away. Great battle for fifth.
Counting them down now, it's 9 to go, just less than 9 to go, and they work their way through the lap traffic. Polverari again trying to make the move on Riggett, but he's got the 4 New York ahead of him, and let's see what happens here now as Riggett works his way by. Polverari tucks back in, Summers back there in 6th. Miller looks to the inside of the 14 of Bolton. They're making moves all over this racetrack.
Once again, Ricky Miller steps out of line. He's going to try and take a spot away from Bolton. He may have the advantage this time as they work off turn 2 and down the back straightaway. Barabee is your leader. Look at Ricky Miller now trying to take over the second spot from the 14 of Billy Bolton.
And you got to think that Miller is thinking not only second here, but win, because there's not that much distance between Bolton and the 04 of Barabee. If he can make the move on the bottom once, he can probably make it twice. But Ricky Miller making it exciting here with 5 laps to go as he looks to the inside of car number 14. In the meantime, our leader, Dave Barabee, car number 04, coming up on more lap traffic now. First, the 57 of Ken Marks. In the meantime, Ricky Miller trying to mop up Bill Bolton on the bottom of the racetrack. Less than 4 to go. Marks a lap car. Bolton uses that to his advantage. Miller has to back off. He'll try the assault one more time. 3 more times around. Kanopka making contact now with the 29 of Burrell, but everybody stays in the right direction. Here comes the 14 now, trying to make the move on our leader, Dave Barabee. Bill Bolton in car number 14, trying a 2 laps to go pass on Barabee. This time, the white flag will fly. Last time around, it's Bolton looking on the inside. White flag is out. Barabee in command. Bolton in the second spot. Miller running 3rd. Polverari running 4th. And Riggett in the 5th spot. Here they come to the stripe, and it's going to be your leader and winner is the 04 of Dave Barabee. 2nd to car number 14 for Bill Bolton. 3rd to the 12 of Ricky Miller. 4th to car number 711 for Bob Polverari. And unofficially in for 5th is car number 07 for Ted Riggett. So they had to time trial, then take those tires from time trialing and run this event. They now have to keep those tires on. They cannot change them. Gary Danko trackside waiting to get a word here with 3rd place runner Ricky Miller as Dave Barabee in car number 04 pulls into victory lane.
Yeah, you and Billy Bolton were having a great battle there for that second spot.
Yeah, his car, he had the big steam coming off the top, and I was trying to pull up off the bottom. Car was all right. We were too tight. He was just starting to free up, and the race is over, so we got to loosen up for the second race or something.
So to just loosen up the car, and you should be okay for the second 35-lap main event?
Yeah, we should be all right. I think it'll be all right. We'll see.
Okay, that's Ricky Miller, comes home 3rd in this first 35-lap main event. And how about this driver, Billy Bolton? I'll tell you, Billy, this car has shown a lot of potential. The first night of racing, you had a problem here in the front straightaway. Last weekend, a little problem. But tonight, you led a little bit, and you came home 2nd here tonight.
Gary, I'll tell you, all year this car has been great, and we've been fast in time trials and the whole bit, and we just needed a good finish tonight. And, Dave had a lot of good car there. I tried to get as close as I could, tried to dive under like 2 or 3 times, but second, boy, we'll take it.
Were you worried at all? I mean, when you were trying to go for the number 1 spot that Dave Barabee had occupied, were you worried about Ricky Miller right behind you?
I kept seeing him, stick his nose under us, and a few times, he'd run beside us on a straightaway, and I just figured, if I could hold my line and just try Dave on the last corner, and then, Ricky got into us a little bit, but then he let me save it, so we'll take it.
What do you need to do to this car when you get it back in the pit area?
I think we'll just free it up just a little bit, and I think that'll be enough for us, Gary.
Okay, Billy Bolton brings the number 14 machine home in the second spot, but when it was all said and done, only one driver could come to victory lane. And in this first 35-lap main event, Dave Barabee, driver of the New England Municipal Equipment Machine, comes home in the number 1 spot. Dave, congratulations, a job well done. It's got to be pretty good to be back in victory lane.
Oh, man, it feels like it's been way too long. This car, it just took us a couple weeks to get it going. The guys stuck right with us. We messed with shocks and springs and Raceworks, and Reggie and them guys helped us right out. Heck of a car. So I got to thank our sponsors, Shades of Green Landscaping, Driving Image, Lether Automotive, New England Municipal Equipment. All the financial support all helps a lot, and these guys really work their asses off.
Were you worried about Billy Bowen working to the inside of you? Did you think that maybe you were going to maybe just drift up a little bit and Bowen was going to have an edge on you coming off one of the turns?
Well, that was a balls to the wall race right from the first flag. I mean, he beat us in the beginning, and then he checked up just a little bit up in the corners there, and we were able to get back under him. It was definitely nip and tuck right to the end. I thought that was a pretty good race. I hope you guys out there enjoyed it too.
Real quick question: what are you going to do to this car when you get back in the pit area?
Kiss it.
Okay, Dave Barabee picks up his first victory on the 1999 season. Let's send the back upstairs to the NASCAR Winston Racing Series broadcast booth, where Mark Warnez is standing by.
All right, well, thank you, Gary Danko, and again, our congratulations to Dave Barabee, driver of car number 04, taking down the first of our 35-lap modified features for tonight. Teddy Bear Pools Truck Division, the Donegal Property Management GMC for Chris Valerio, and alongside Chris, it's truck number 22, the Luigi's Pizza and Pasta GMC for EJ Legacy. We go to row number 3 on the inside, and it's truck number 48, the Wayne's Auto Body Flintstone Flyer Ford for Pat Crenchman, truck number 48, and alongside him, it's truck number 10 in the Hawaiian Punch Ford for Mike Salmon. We go to our 4th row, last week's feature event winner on the inside, truck number 2 in the Pit Road Chevrolet for Skip Brunig, and next to him it is truck number 76 in the Donegal Property Management GMC, it's Rob Valerio. In row number 5, we have the defending track champion.
Say, also proud sponsor on Jeff Burrell's number 29 modified machine that he competes with here at Riverside Park Speedway.
And Gary, very quickly, the word out of the pit area is Dave Barabee in car number 04 drew 12, so 12 cars will invert.
So right now, pace car heads for cover. We're just about set for the Teddy Bear Pool trucks. 30 laps at distance. The green flag goes up in the air, and leading them down into turn 1 is truck number 1 with Travis Lucia. Chris Valerio now with the 67 machine starts to challenge that number 1 truck. And meanwhile, Dave Beren with truck number 15, he is on the outside challenging the 22 of Legacy.
Well, good battle up front between Chris Valerio in truck number 67 and the rookie Travis Lucia in truck number 1. Good side-by-side battle, as now a little mix-up in the back of the field, and Rick Dulac getting the short end of that one in truck number 12. The 21 machine of Keith Miller pulls in as well. Trouble on the front stretch now, and truck number 15 for David Van Ryn, the Johnson Ford machine, Brad Merchant, Chris Johnson, all crossed up in this one, Gary.
Yeah, tough break for Teddy Chalmers with truck number 28. You can see the rear cover flipping and flopping around on that machine as Chalmers looks to head into the pit area. Some other machines right here on the front straightaway. The 33 of Brian Merchant. And then you can see the 79 machine of Chris Johnson also involved. Is also debris on the speedway as well. Glad you could join us tonight for all the exciting action here at Riverside Park Speedway. 2 laps showing on the NASCAR Winston Racing Series scoreboard. It paid off. Right now, the pace car will head for cover as we get set to go back under green flag racing conditions. Billy Dunn looks the field over, likes what he sees. The green goes back up in the air, and it's Chris Valerio that will challenge down into turn number 1. One machine sliding to the center of the field. That's the 33 of Merchant. So Chris Valerio now will lead him off turn number 4. In hot pursuit is the 48 of Crenchman. Then further on back, the 2 of Bruning. And then a battle between the 22 of Legacy and the 1 of Lucia. Is Lucia now on the outside, starting to lose some positions as the 83 of G. Perry will slip to the inside. Your leaders work off turn 4.
Yeah, and you got to keep your eye on G. Perry, too, because even though his truck's got some damage, here's a guy who's a master at coming through traffic. He's proved that so many nights in the late model division. And Ernie Tarka in truck number 70. Here's one of the hottest drivers in this division with 2 early wins back-to-back in this division. So he tries to work his way through the traffic as well in that Paynes Incorporated truck number 70.
Well, we got one Valerio leading. That's Chris Valerio with truck number 67. And further on back, her brother with the 76 machine, that yellow machine. It looks like he's going to start to lose his left front fender on the machine as he's trying to work his way up to the front. And right in front of him, it's the 70 of Ernie Tarka. So now, Pat Crenchman now works to the inside of the Valerio machine as they work off turn 4.
And what a battle now for the lead. Crenchman in truck number 48, the Flintstone Flyer. Chris Valerio in truck number 67. What a great start to the inaugural season of the Teddy Bear Pools truck division she enjoyed last season. Crenchman getting the nose up on the truck. He's the new leader at the stripe.
So Crenchman now will work it off turn number 2. Valerio drops back to second. And meanwhile, here comes Skip Bruning with truck number 2, trying to take that number 2 spot away from Valerio. Further on back, Rob Valerio with the 76 machine. He's in a battle with the 83 of G. Perry. And then Teddy Chalmers with truck number 28. He's trying to work his way to the front as well. But right now, your leader, the 48 of Crenchman.
Well, Ernie Tarka in truck number 70 pulled off 2 back-to-back wins. Skip Bruning thinking the same thing right now as he moves past Chris Valerio and moves into second place with truck number 2. 20 more laps to go, plenty of time. And can Bruning chase down Crenchman and take the win and be back-to-back winner for the second time? Tarka once, Bruning twice.
That's right. Crenchman trying to pick up a victory here tonight in the Teddy Bear Pool truck division. Bruning right now is second. Then it's Chris Valerio. Then in fourth, it's a Legacy. And Ernie Tarka, a 2-time feature winner with truck number 70, tries to take a spot away from Legacy. Further on back, you got the 44 machine of Jim Larson. He tries to take a peek to the inside of the 1 of Lucia. Can't quite make the move. He'll tuck it back in line.
Well, Skip Bruning trying to close in on Pat Crenchman. Pat Crenchman, the Flintstone Flyer, trying to hold him at bay. And a couple laps shy of halfway here, but Crenchman and Bruning are going to encounter some slow traffic here. We'll see how that all plays out, but Crenchman trying to hold off Bruning. Bruning seems to inch closer each time around.
Skip Bruning with that pit road Z Auto Paul Sunoco sponsor machine now. Currently runs second. Has his eyes on that number 1 spot. That is occupied right now by the 48 of Crenchman. Is now your leader, works off turn 2. Prado off turn 2. It is the 12 of Rick Dulac. He goes around, but his truck is safely in the center of the infield. Back up front, it's Crenchman. Your leader, Bruning, is second. Valerio is third. Now a battle for fourth between the 70 of Ernie Tarka and the 22 of Legacy. But look who's watching that battle going on. It's the 76 machine of Rob Valerio.
And Bruning now able to put a little more pressure on the 48 of Crenchman. Merchant's truck number 33 up ahead. So let's see how this plays out as the battle continues back there with 4th, 5th, and 6th. Tarka ahead of Legacy now, and Bruning really starting to close in on Crenchman.
Yeah, Bruning is really closed in on the 48 of Crenchman, and this one's going to get really exciting when it comes down to the end. But right now, the number 1 spot still belongs to Crenchman in the 48 machine. Bruning just patiently waiting, and you got to wonder if he's going to try to take a move to the outside or if he's going to try to make a move to the inside. They work off turn 2.
Well, each time around, Bruning tries to nudge up a little closer. Crenchman wishing the laps would just tick away and be over, as he'd like to go to victory lane here in the Teddy Bear Pools trucks. Valerio in the 3rd spot, Tarka running 4th, and he's trying to close in on Valerio, but laps ticking away, less than 10 to go.
So your leader, it's Crenchman. Bruning is second. Third, it is Crenchman. Trying to pull off a victory. Is if he looks in that rear mirror, he's going to see the Bruning machine all over his rear bumper. Is now Crenchman works off 4.
Yeah, lap traffic still ahead of these guys, but so far not a factor at all in this event. As Bruning looks to the inside, can't quite get the bite on the bottom of the racetrack off turn number 2, and Crenchman will use flying Brian Montgomery to hold Skip Bruning at bay here as they work around and the laps continue to tick away.
So that battle continues for the number 1 spot. Then further on back in 3rd, it's the 67 machine of Chris Valerio, and that Donico property management machine, and then 2-time feature winner Ernie Tarka currently runs in the 4th spot. Now a battle for 5th between the 76 of Rob Valerio and the 22 of Legacy. Is now Valerio off turn 2, tries to take a peek to the inside, can't quite make the move. He'll tuck it back in line once again. Back up front, it is still Crenchman, your leader. Again, a little bit sideways there. If you looked at turn 2, you saw that truck get sideways, and Bruning almost trying to put the nose in there as well to take that number 1 spot away. We'll see what happens when your leader now works in turn 1. Kretschmann up high one more time with the 48 machine. Bruni continues to hold on to second. When they flash across the stripe this time, it's going to be 2 more laps to go. 2 more laps around this quarter-mile oval. Kretschmann is your leader in 2. Right in front of your leader, there is a slower machine. That is the one of Travis Lucia. Bruni one more time tries to take a peek to the inside. We'll see if he has an advantage this time. Is now he has to back off the throttle because of a slower machine. That was the one of Lucia. So now this time by, coming off turn number 4, taking down the win, it's Kretschmann. Bruni is second. Third will go to Tarka. Fourth, a battle between brother and sister. And the 76 of Rob Valerio beats his sister, Chris Valerio, in the 67. But when it was all said and done, Pat Kretschmann with truck number 48 picks up the victory, his first win on the 1999 season in the Wayne's Auto Body AFCO Racing Products Coca-Cola sponsored Ford. Coming home in the second spot was truck number 2 for Skip Bruni, driving the pit road. Z Auto Paul Sunoco entry. And third goes to the 70 machine of Ernie Tarka, the Paynes Incorporated Old Amherst Ale House Pioneer Bowling Center sponsor machine. And then fourth, the 76 machine for Rob Valerio and the Donico Property Management Complete Auto Repair Specialist Ernie and Ernie Associates. Now let's go trackside where Mark Warnez is standing by with Ernie Tarka.
Well, Ernie just getting unstrapped here, as is Skip Brunig. A couple of hot drivers right here with these 2 competitors. Skip went to victory lane last week. Now finds himself in for second. Ernie Tarka taking down the first 2 wins of the season and finds himself coming in for third. Ernie Tarka, you've been hot as a pistol this year, and if it couldn't be a win tonight, if you're running for a championship or running for points, why not third?
Well, you know, to be brutally honest, we're not even really thinking of the championship. We're trying very hard to keep our goals weekly in nature because there's so many things that can go wrong. So we're real happy with tonight, you know, going from starting 12th to 3rd. One of our sponsors is here tonight. Jack's Baseball Sports is here. We want to thank him for coming down and watching. I want to thank NGK for helping out tonight with sponsoring the race. I want to thank the fans at Brave coming out on a pretty chilly night. Thanks very much to Paynes Incorporated, Old Amherst Ale House, Iron City Golf Center, and all the rest of the help. Thanks very much, and Barnard Brothers Racing.
All right, quite the run for Ernie Tarka. Now we'll move over here for truck number 2 and Skip Brunig. Skip, come on up here. You know, last Saturday, total misfortune. You worked overnight into Sunday, working hard up there in the parking lot. You went to victory lane, and you worked that guy over pretty good. Second, not bad considering.
Yeah, Pat's running real good this year. He's going to be tough. You know, I just got to thank all my sponsors and my crew for helping me get here again. They're close, you know.
You guys have been awful tough ever since the truck got trashed last Saturday night. The work on Sunday, you won on Sunday, second tonight. Was this a thing where you straightened out whatever was wrong with the truck, or a mental thing where you guys just believe you can win and want to win a little bit more?
Well, we're basically just getting started this year, trying to get used to it, trying to get everything together, you know. It's finally starting to come around.
Well, the rest of the field is hoping you don't get too much more used to it. A first and a second in 2 runs. Great run here for Skip Brunig. Well, you know, somewhere, Fred, Barney, and Dino have got to be smiling because the Flintstone Flyer is in victory lane, and Pat Kretschmann, it seemed like it was going to come, but tonight is your night.
Yeah, we struggled the first couple of weeks with some small stuff, and I don't think we're through it. I think tonight everything just played into our hands. A lot of people I'd like to thank. First of all, my wife, my crew, they do a great job. This week I didn't do any work on the car. They did it all themselves this week. Actually, truck, I'm sorry. They did all the work on it all week. I got to thank them a lot. I also like to say thank you to Precision Power, Chassis Pro, Coca-Cola, AFCO Racing Products, just a whole bunch of people. I'm just ecstatic.
Last year, 1 trip to victory lane. This year, you got that first one under the belt early. How many more?
Well, we did last year too. We got one here the 3rd week in. This division's so close, and there's a lot of good drivers, and everybody seems to use their head. I'd like to come more often, but I don't know if it's going to happen.
All right, modest words from Victory Lane and the Flintstone Flyer. Pat Crenchman, Gary, send it back upstairs to you.
Well, thank you, Mark. And actually, Pat Crenchman put that machine in Victory Lane on May the 2nd of last year, and congratulations go out to Pat Crenchman and the whole 48 team. Is a great job turned in by him tonight with that Pro Auto Air Service sponsored machine for Keith. Dave Barabee picked up the first feature event with car number 04. Billy Bolton was second. Tricky Ricky Miller was third. One year ago, in this event, the Twin 35, as that's where the Featherline Modified Series will be in action.
Yeah, it's that old Dodge Stealth look, so as we said before, a former Mystic Missile in the field tonight.
Right now, we're just about ready to get underway. The green flag waves high in the air as they work off turn 4. It's Zarnicki and Dupree that will lead them down into turn 1. Dupree may have the advantage when they work off turn number 2. Give the number 1 spot to Rene Dupree. There's three-way battle there for the number 2 spot. A couple cars get collected. The 42 of Summers and 20 of Zarnicki all come together, and there's some more cars up against the wall in turn number 4. Chris Kopek got a piece of that. The 5 of Konopka. The 57 of Ken Marks. Some of these machines driving away under their own power. Teddy Riggin with the 07 looks to head into the pit area as well.
Well, the 73 machine piloted by Todd Owen. That car was a late arrival here to...
Live in East Windsor, Connecticut, and on Bay Street in Springfield. Behind the wheel of that machine, Joe Herring. He'll bring that down into the center of the infield in a safe spot. It's right now. It's going to be a battle. Oh, trouble right on the start. As one car got around there, looked like it was a Spires machine. You can see also Dennis Charette as he pulls away under his own power. Looks like now heads for cover. A battle of 2 teammates. Dan Avery, Rene Dupree, green flag is in the air. Who's it going to be when they come down into turn number 1? They're side by side. The 10 drifts up a little bit. Give the advantage to Avery with car number 10. Meanwhile, Eddie Spires with the 94 tries to slip to the inside of Tommy Jensen as they work off turn 4.
Well, Avery is your leader in car number 10. Renee runs second in car number... Tommy Jensen and Eddie Spires side by side. They battle for position number 3. And Ricky Miller and Bob Polvereri looking for racing room stacked up behind the 94 and the 28 as they battle here in the early going.
Further on back, the 14 of Bolton and the 04 of Barabee in the battle. And meanwhile, Barabee now will try to work to the outside of the Polvereri machine. Back up front, it is car number 10 of Dan Avery. Caution on the speedway. So this for a problem off turn number 2, and it looks like it is the 07. This all shapes up. Billy Dunn looks the field over. Green flag goes back up in the air as they'll work off turn number 4. They'll set sail for turn 1. But Rene Dupree will tuck that machine in for the second spot. And meanwhile, here comes the 28 of Jensen trying to work to the inside. Can't quite get the spot, as now he's in a heated battle with Spires as they work off turn 4.
Well, Jensen's in a tough spot here because either he's got to move up or move back. He's in a side-by-side battle with Spires. Remember, they're running on the same tires that they time trialed on. So for Jensen, he's either going to go forward or go back here in a hurry.
So right now, Polvereri now in a battle with the 94 Spires. And meanwhile, Ricky Miller with car number 12 tries to work to the outside of the Polvereri machine, and following the tire tracks of Miller, the 14 of Billy Bolton as they work off turn 4.
Jensen again trying to run the bottom of the racetrack here, trying to get around a pesky Eddie Spires, as now the 59 of Ray Townsend drops out of the event. Bob Polvereri riding right behind Jensen, kind of no place else to go, as Ricky Miller right alongside Polvereri and Bill Bolton right on Miller's back bumper.
Well, from second on back, there's some great scrambles, but your leader is car number 10 of Dan Avery and the Space Fitters Incorporated machine. Rene Dupree is currently running second. Eddie Spires is third. Now, tricky Ricky Miller now tries to take the fourth spot away from Gallup as Miller goes up high to take that spot away as they work down in turn number 1.
Jensen trying to get to the high groove and just couldn't get there. Miller was going to keep him away. Spires trying to make the move for second now around Rene Dupuis, and he's got to move it or lose it. Otherwise, Ricky Miller, charging hard, is going to go right to Dupuis' back bumper and close the door for Spires.
Yeah, Spires now tries to work to the inside of the Dupree machine. Trouble in turn 4. Brad Hightellis. Car 54 is around. Caution now on the speedway. So the 50s again. And we're just about set to go back to green. Glad that you could join us here tonight at Riverside Park Speedway for all the action. The green flag is back, and it is Dan Avery to lead the charge down into turn number 1. This time Spires may have the advantage when they work off turn number 2, but Rene Dupree hanging very tough with car number 11. And meanwhile, Ricky Miller with car number 12, he starts to close in as he gets by the 14 of Bolton. And meanwhile, Bolton and the 28 of Jensen are now going at it, and here comes the 04 of Barabee as well.
Remember, all of these cars running on the same tires that they time trialed with, and this is seemingly not a big deal because they run 50-lap features all the time, which is just about where we are now for a normal 50-lap event. But who has used their tires carefully, who has used their tires up, that story will unfold in the next 20 laps.
Well, Eddie Spires now has put the 11 back into the third spot and now has his eyes set on the number 1 spot as he tries to take that spot away from Dan Avery. Spires and Avery side by side off turn 2, watching the battle. Rene Dupree now tries to come back up on the outside, but Ricky Miller now will try to work to the inside of the Dupree machine.
Spires thinking better of it, moves back up to the high groove, settling for second at the moment. Ricky Miller is going to kind of give his car the acid test here as he works car number 12 now under the 11 of Rene, see if he can pass on the bottom of the racetrack.
Remember, when we talked to Ricky Miller, he came home third in the first 35-lap main event. He said he needed to free the car up a little bit. Well, right now, Ricky Miller with car number 12 currently runs fourth, trying to work his way to the front. Now a battle between the 7-11 of Polverari, the 28 of Jensen as they battle side by side down the back straightaway. When they come to the stripe this time, it's halfway. Your leader is the 10 of Avery.
Miller jumps back up into the high groove, and now it'll be Bill Bolton in the Bear Motorsports car number 14. Billy Bolton's going to see if his car will stick on the bottom of the racetrack as he tries to contend and take fourth away from Ricky Miller. And so far, nobody's really setting the bottom of the racetrack on fire, Gary.
Further on back, Robbie Summers with car number 42 slips to the inside of the 03 of Wenzel. Also trying to make their way back up to the front is the M6 of Chris Kopak. But right now, up front, Dan Avery, your leader. Eddie Spires is second. Rene Dupree is third. Fourth is Miller. Fifth is Bolton. And then in that sixth spot, it's the 7-11 of Bob Polverari.
Well, Polverari definitely on the move, and the question is what happens now when he catches up with Bolton and Miller. We'll see what car number 7-11 can do as Polverari has worked his way through the traffic. He's been able to pass successfully, but let's see how...
Trying to work over the 10 of Avery as it Spires is sandwiched in between two Spacefitter Incorporated machines. The 10 of Avery in the number 1 spot, and in third it's Rene Dupree. Ricky Miller is in fourth, and Billy Bolton currently runs in the 5th spot.
And right now, nobody making magic on the bottom of the racetrack. Next time by, as they come to the stripe this time, it'll be 10 to go, 10 more times around. Rene Dupree looks to the inside to try to make a pass on Eddie Spires, and now Polverari tries to work under the 14 of Billy Bolton.
Yeah, Rene Dupree is trying to get by the 94 of Eddie Spires. She keeps working to the inside, trying to take that second spot away as the Spires machine drifts up a little bit. That kind of opens up the door, and she'll try to slip that machine to the inside, side by side, off turn 4.
Rene Dupuis, could she be going for the win here to steal it away from teammate Dan Avery as we get to the point where we're about 7 laps away from the end of the race here, and Rene Dupuis inching forward on Avery each and every circuit.
Well, it's a battle of the Spacefitter Incorporated machines. The 10 of Avery, the 11 of Dupree. Rene Dupree on the inside. Avery's on the outside. Watch the battle going on. It's a 94 of Eddie Spires. Rene Dupree will try to pick up her first ever Napa modified victory here tonight as she battles the 10 of Dan Avery. They'll come off turn 4. Rene Dupree, your new leader with lap number 30.
Renee Dupuis makes the pass. Now she's got to hold on for 5 more circuits. Avery runs in the 2nd spot. Spires running 3rd. A lap car in front. The 5 of Kevin Konopka. Konopka yields to the leaders on the racetrack. Billy Bolton trying to pass the 12 of Ricky Miller right now. That is the battle for position number 4. And Billy Bolton in trouble as he got a lap car in front of him. Now he's got Paul Vereri in his rear mirror. Contact and 2 cars go around. The 14 of Bolton and the 7-11 of Bob Polvereri, and that brings out a caution with 3 laps to go. So, Renee Dupuis trying to get that ever so elusive first career win in a modified. It's kind of like Christmas morning. You know what's in the box, but you can't open it yet. 3 more times around. The pace car pulls in. Billy Dunn waves the green, and we're racing here. Dan Avery, wasting no time, pulls side by side with car number 11. They race hard into turns 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, Avery with the better of it. Is his car making the magic on the bottom of the racetrack? Avery and Dupuis off turn number 4. Avery with the better of it. They're still side by side. 2 laps to go. Dupuis battles back. Avery on the bottom of the racetrack. Working. Dupuis noses ahead. This time off turn number 4, the white flag will wave. Renee Dupuis noses out. Avery on the bottom. Slides maybe just a little bit down the back straightaway. Avery still got those front wheels up to the number on number 11. They head off turn number 4 at the checkered flag. It's Renee Dupuis. She takes down her first career win. 2nd to car number 10 of Dan Avery. And boy, what a battle as he made it exciting. 3rd going to the 94 of Eddie Spires, and unofficially we'll check on 4th. We believe it was the 12 of Ricky Miller, but we'll just verify that with the scores. But you know, as they say, yes, it was Ricky Miller. But the big story is Victory Lane. Maybe it seemed like it would never happen as Ricky Miller swings by and offers his congratulations. The Space Fitters cars finish 1 and 2. That's huge. But the bigger story, it's Renee Dupuis, and it seemed like maybe it would.
Of the Sonic Welding sponsored number 94, as Eddie Spires had a great run here tonight. Eddie, tell us about your 3rd place run tonight.
Well, we should have been first. There's a roadblock in front of us, but we had a first place car. I was a little late getting to the bottom. I should have gotten down there sooner.
Well, 3rd place, you can't complain about that. Always next week.
Yeah, we'll be back for next week for first place.
Okay, Eddie Spires comes home 3rd here tonight. Well, now we'll move over to the driver who came home in 2nd, Dan Avery, the 1995 Riverside champion. As he's getting congratulations in order from everybody here. As we'll try to sneak in here and get a word with Dan Avery.
Long time, buddy.
Well, Dan, a great run for you tonight, and what a way if you came home 2nd tonight, but you had a good battle with your teammate Renee Dupuis.
I'll tell you what, she drove a one hell of a race. She's an awesome competitor. She's got a lot to be proud of. Space Fitters give us both a great opportunity here, and our car was just a tad loose, and she was running real strong, and I seen her coming. I was trying to keep her in check, but there was no stopping her. She was on rails tonight.
When that final caution came out, did you think, well, maybe I got one more shot of probably getting her?
Well, yeah, usually when you got a loose race car, it's fast for a couple, 3 laps, and that's what we had. And I said, if I've got anything left, this is the time to show it. And she just, if I'd have been about a half a lap, the race had been a half a lap shorter, we probably could have taken the checker flag, but she pulled it off.
Well, so far it's been a good weekend for the Space Fitters Incorporated. You had a great qualifying run today at the Stafford Motor Speedway.
Yeah, we got a lot to be proud of over there. We missed the pole by just 4 1,000ths of a second, and hopefully we can back that up tomorrow and give it a good run and bring the Space Fitters machine up in the front.
Okay, Dan Avery comes home 2nd here tonight in the Space Fitters Incorporated number 10. But when it was all said and done, history in the making here at Riverside Park Speedway. Renee Dupuis, driver of car number 11, picks up her first ever Napa Modified victory. Renee, congratulations. A job well done here tonight.
Thank you, Gary.
I'll tell you, if you're going to do it, what a way to do it with your teammate second.
Yeah, that was real nice. I almost took it a little too easy on that last restart there. Danny got inside of me, and I was thinking, oh boy, a little faster next time.
Were you worried when that final caution came out, thinking, well, maybe Dan's going to have something for me?
Well, I certainly didn't want to see the last caution. This car takes a couple of laps to get going, so that was definitely playing in the back of my mind.
And you got to feel pretty honored. The first woman to ever sit in victory lane here in the Napa Modified Division of Riverside Park Speedway.
We're just happy to be here, no matter what we are.
What was your crew telling you on the radio? Were they telling you anything on those final laps?
Just you can do it. Just keep your head. You can do it.
How about a big round of applause for Renee Dupree? She picks up her first ever Napa Modified victory here at Riverside Park Speedway. Congratulations. Going also out to Dan Avery, who comes home second, and Eddie Spires, who comes home third. Let's send it back upstairs to the NASCAR Winston Racing Series broadcast booth where Mark Warnez is standing by.
All right, thank you, Gary Danko, and again, our congratulations to the Space Fitters team, but really our congratulations to Renee Dupuis and her whole family. Certainly a family effort for as long as they've been racing, campaigning over the years, her mother, father, brother, so great to see it all come together and see Renee Dupuis standing in victory lane here at Riverside Park Speedway. Well, Dean in the Rick's Auto Body Regal for Roger Masnick. 3 rows back on the inside, car number 33. The standard welding Cutlass for Joe Jacobs, and next to him it's car number 6 in the GG's Auto Repair Monte Carlo for John Gagnon. Henry Lane here. Don't forget, join us next Saturday night. The Sportsman will be among the division supporting the Busch North here. As the pit gate stays open, we're going to get Renee's car number 11, the Space Fitters car, out of victory lane, get it back to safety before we turn the figure eights loose for 20 laps.